Have you ever scolded your cat for knocking over a vase or scratching up the sofa, only for them to come back an hour later, sit right beside you, and start rubbing against your leg? Most likely, you just assumed they were begging for food or attention. But what if I told you that was actually a complex, well-thought-out apology? What if, in that very moment, your pet was desperately trying to say, "I'm sorry," in their own feline language? Today, we're going to decode the secret language of cat apologies. I'm going to share 20 totally unexpected ways your furry friend tries to make peace. And trust me, after watching this video, you'll never look at your cat's behavior the same way again. Ready to find out what's really going on inside your pet's head? Let's dive in. Before we get into the specific signs, let's clarify one crucial point. Do cats feel guilt the way humans do? Science suggests the answer is probably no. Human guilt is a complex emotion tied to morality and the understanding of right and wrong. For cats, things operate a little differently. Their behavior is based on instincts, associations, and social hierarchy. When you scold your cat, they aren't thinking, "Oh, I was bad for breaking that vase." Instead, they're thinking, "My human is unhappy. There's tension in the air. Our bond is threatened." Therefore, a cat's apology isn't true remorse for a misdeed. It's more of a set of appeasement signals. Their primary goal is to relieve that tension, restore social harmony, and show you that you are still important. They aren't trying to say, "I'm guilty." They're trying to say, "Let's be friends again. Your good favour is vital to me." Understanding this difference is the key to truly deciphering all the behaviours we're about to discuss. Let's start with the first, and perhaps the most famous cat signal, the slow blink, which is often completely misunderstood. Picture this. You're upset, sitting on the couch. Your cat comes over, sits right in front of you, stares you straight in the eyes, and slowly, almost dramatically, closes and opens them. This isn't because she's bored or ready for a nap. In the feline world, a direct, prolonged stare is a challenge, a sign of aggression. By slow blinking, the cat voluntarily makes itself vulnerable. It shows you that it trusts you enough to literally take its eyes off you for a second. This is the cat equivalent of a kiss or a handshake. In the context of reconciliation, it's a powerful signal that essentially says, "I pose no threat to you. I trust you. Let's make peace." If you want to respond, try returning the slow blink. This strengthens your bond and shows the cat that you accept its peaceful gesture. What you are seeing on screen right now is a classic example of this cat kiss. Notice the animal's completely relaxed posture and the sheer trust it embodies. This is the purest expression of love and the desire to reconnect. The next method your cat uses to make peace is the head and cheek rub, or as experts call it, bunting. When your cat approaches and starts rubbing persistently against your legs, arms, or even your face, it's much more than just a sign of affection. Cats have specialized glands located on their cheeks, chin, and forehead that release pheromones, unique chemical scent markers. By rubbing against you, the cat deposits its scent, effectively blending it with yours. This action has profound social significance. It's their way of saying, quite literally, "You are part of my group, my family, my pride." After a conflict, this behavior takes on even greater meaning. The cat isn't just seeking cuddles, it's actively restoring the shared scent signature of your colony. It's essentially reaffirming your status in their world, confirming, despite our little spat, we are still a unit. This is an incredibly intimate and vital ritual. Visualize an invisible cloud of scent enveloping both of you, creating a sense of unity and security. This is her ultimate way of wiping the slate clean and re-establishing your bond. But what about purring? We usually think of it as a sign of absolute contentment. A cat purrs when we pet it, or when it's enjoying a tasty meal. But what if your cat starts purring right after you've yelled at them, and they are sitting terrified in a corner? This is one of the most paradoxical and surprising facts about felines. Purring isn't just an expression of happiness. It's also a powerful tool for self-soothing and healing. The vibrations created during purring fall within the range of 25 to 150 Hz, And research suggests that these specific frequencies can promote tissue repair and significantly reduce stress. So, when a frightened or guilty cat purrs, they are primarily trying to calm themselves down. Secondly, they are sending you a signal of appeasement. Think of it like a person nervously smiling in a tense situation, essentially saying, "I don't want conflict. I mean, no harm." With their purr, the cat is trying to diffuse the situation and placate you, the big, scary predator who is somehow displeased. A cat's tail is the ultimate barometer of her emotional state, and when it comes to communication, especially reconciliation, the tail plays a special, critical role. If your cat approaches you after a disagreement and her tail is held straight up, but the very tip is slightly bent, creating that recognizable question mark shape that is a clear sign of friendliness and a strong desire to reconcile, while a completely straight, upright tail signals confidence and a simple greeting, the little hook at the end adds a layer of reassurance, almost as if she's asking, "Are we cool? Is everything forgiven?" She's carefully testing the waters, signaling goodwill, while still leaving room for your reaction. It's a wonderfully delicate and polite way to initiate a dialogue of peace. Think of that tail as a flag of truce, cautiously raised on the battlefield, hoping you'll answer not with continued hostility, but with genuine affection. Ignoring such an obvious diplomatic gesture means missing a fantastic opportunity to restore peace and harmony quickly and easily. The cat in this video is demonstrating exactly this kind of tail, a classic invitation to positive interaction. The fifth sign, and perhaps one of the most heartwarming, is the belly display. A cat's abdomen is their most vulnerable area. It houses all the vital organs, and unlike the chest, it lacks the protection of ribs. When a cat rolls onto its back and shows you that fluffy tummy, they are demonstrating the highest degree of trust. In the context of an apology or reconciliation, this gesture functions as unconditional surrender. They are essentially telling you, "I am completely at your mercy. I trust you enough not to fear exposing my greatest weakness. Please don't hurt me." However, there is a crucial myth we need to debunk right now. A belly display is not always an invitation for a tummy rub. For many cats, it is a gesture of profound trust, but not a request for physical contact. Attempting to pet the belly can be interpreted as a betrayal of that trust, and the cat might instinctively latch onto your hand with their claws. The best reaction to this act of reconciliation is a soft, reassuring voice and slow blinking. This shows you have accepted their apology and that you won't take advantage of their vulnerability. Now, let's talk about those gentle nips, often referred to as love bites. This behaviour frequently leaves owners completely puzzled. Your cat might be purring, snuggling, and then suddenly give your hand a quick, light bite, or perhaps, after you've scolded them, they approach and gently nip your finger. Is this hidden aggression? No. In most cases, this is a complex social signal they learned in kittenhood while playing with their siblings. For kittens, these light nips are a way to communicate and establish boundaries during playtime. When your adult cat uses this behaviour with you, especially during a moment of reconciliation, it can signify a couple of things. Firstly, it might be an expression of overwhelming affection, a classic, "I love you so much I could just eat you up" moment. Secondly, it could be a tactic to grab your attention and shift the focus from a negative interaction towards something positive, like play. The key is always differentiating this light, controlled nip from a genuine, aggressive bite. A love bite rarely leaves a mark and shouldn't cause pain. It's more of an indication of an action than the action itself. Licking their owner is another powerful tool in the feline apology playbook. In the wild, cats often engage in mutual grooming, a process known as allogrooming. This ritual isn't just about hygiene. It's vital for strengthening the social bonds within a colony. When your cat approaches you after a disagreement and starts persistently scrubbing your hand or hair with that rough tongue, they are bringing you into this essential ritual. They are caring for you the same way their mother cared for them as a kitten, or the way they would care for a trusted member of their own group. This action is drenched in trust and deep affection. They aren't merely trying to wash you, They are sharing their scent, calming both themselves and you, and actively restoring the sense of unity that the conflict disrupted. Think of it as the feline equivalent of hugging a friend who is crying, or giving someone a reassuring pat on the shoulder. This deeply instinctive behaviour speaks volumes louder than any words, conveying the message: you belong with me, I trust you, I care about you, let's put the conflict behind us. So even if that rough, sandpaper tongue feels a bit abrasive, try to tolerate it for a few seconds. For your cat, it's an incredibly important gesture. Have you ever scolded your cat only to find a strange gift? A dead mouse, a bird, or maybe just a favourite toy, left on your doorstep or even on your pillow? Don't panic, and definitely don't rush to throw that present out in disgust. Believe it or not, this could be one of the highest forms of feline apology and genuine affection. In the cat world, bringing home prey is the equivalent of sharing their most valuable resource. Cats are hardwired hunters, and a successful hunt is crucial for survival. When your cat offers you this trophy, it's because she views you, unfortunately, as a rather unskilled hunter, a beloved member of the pride who clearly needs looking after. In the context of reconciliation, the message is clear. I see you're upset, and perhaps you're weak. I've taken care of you. I brought food. I want you to be strong and happy. This is an act of incredible generosity, and in her mind, the most constructive way to apologise and make amends. She's attempting to win you back by offering the very best she possesses. So, the best reaction is to calmly praise your cat for her thoughtfulness, and then, if the gift isn't to your liking, quietly dispose of it later. After a disagreement, your cat might pointedly avoid you, perhaps hiding under the bed or perched demonstratively atop the tallest shelf. But if, after some time has passed, she approaches and simply settles down to sleep near you, on the bed, on the couch, or even just on the floor by your feet, consider the truce official. Sleep is the period of maximum vulnerability for any animal. By choosing to sleep right next to you, your cat is signalling that the tension has lifted, and she feels completely secure in your presence once more. She trusts you to guard her while she sleeps. It is a silent yet incredibly eloquent acknowledgement that your partnership has been restored. She isn't demanding cuddles or being clingy. She simply wants to be near you, inside your safety perimeter. This is a passive yet profoundly deep apology. It's her unspoken way of saying, I want to be in your space. Being near you calms me. Just look at the cat sleeping beside you, her posture relaxed, her breathing steady and measured. This sight is the very embodiment of the peace and harmony she was so desperately trying to restore after your little falling out. Let's talk about kneading, or as some playfully call it, making biscuits. This behaviour is deeply rooted in a cat's early kittenhood. Kittens instinctively knead their mother's belly to stimulate the flow of milk. This powerful reflex often stays with adult cats, and they associate it with feelings of absolute comfort, security, and maternal love. When your cat climbs onto your lap, perhaps after a minor spat, and begins rhythmically pressing its front paws, often extending and retracting its claws, it is essentially regressing to the state of a carefree kitten. She isn't just asking for affection. She's showing you her complete trust and trying to evoke those same warm, protective feelings in you. It's her silent way of communicating, I am your small, defenceless kitten. Please don't be mad at me. This is a powerful emotional maneuver, deliberately aimed at triggering your deepest caregiving instincts. It is practically impossible to resist. If those claws are causing you discomfort, simply slide a blanket or a soft throw under her paws. But whatever you do, do not push her away. At this moment, she is maximally open and vulnerable, and any harshness could severely damage that trust for a long time. Cats are incredibly perceptive creatures, and they often mimic our behaviour. They can also use this tactic as a subtle form of reconciliation. Have you ever noticed that once you settle down, your cat starts mirroring your every move? You stretch, and so does she. You yawn, and she follows suit. You head to the kitchen, and she scurries right behind you. This isn't just a coincidence. This mirroring behaviour is a subtle, subconscious way they try to reconnect and demonstrate belonging. It's almost as if your cat is saying, "Look, we are in sync. We are doing the same thing. We are a team." The shared yawn is particularly significant. For many social animals, including humans, contagious yawning is a known indicator of empathy. If your cat yawns immediately after you do, it's a powerful signal that she's completely tuned into you and actively trying to synchronize with your emotional state. It's a subtle yet highly effective way to reduce stress and signal that any sense of hostility has dissolved, giving way to calm and unity. Try yawning while looking at your cat and see if she follows your lead. The voice of a cat is a finely tuned instrument specifically designed for human communication. Here's an interesting fact. Adult cats rarely, if ever, meow to one another. They developed this vocal skill solely for us, often mimicking the cry of a human baby to trigger our innate instinct to care for or assist them. When a cat is seeking reconciliation or trying to make peace, they will use a very specific type of meow. It won't be a demanding wail or a loud, insistent cry. Instead, you'll hear a quiet, high-pitched, almost plaintive sound, or a short, tiny squeak. This vocal timbre is meant to highlight her vulnerability and friendly disposition. It's as if she's saying in a delicate, tiny voice, "Please don't hurt me. I'm little and completely harmless." This is the auditory equivalent of a dog tucking its tail between its legs. She is actively attempting to appear less threatening, hoping to elicit sympathy and a protective response from you. Pay close attention to your cat's intonations right after a perceived argument or conflict. If you hear those soft, high-pitched notes, recognize them. They are her subtle, non-verbal, or maybe almost verbal, apology, directed specifically at you. Number 13. Waiting by the door. Now you might be thinking, what's so special about that? Many cats meet their humans when they come home from work. But if you've had a fight, left the house feeling truly upset, and then come back to find her sitting right by the threshold, that means something profound. She wasn't just waiting for food. She was waiting specifically for you, ready to start the reconciliation process immediately. She was genuinely worried that the conflict might have caused you to leave forever. Her presence by the door is a silent message. "I am so glad you are back. I was afraid you weren't coming home. Our fight isn't important now. The only thing that matters is that we are together again." This is a powerful demonstration of her deep attachment and how central you are to her life. She could have been sleeping in a cozy spot or just minding her own business, but she chose to sit right by that door and wait, because restoring your bond was her absolute priority. This is her way of showing that she regrets what happened and values your relationship above everything else. Greet her kindly. She definitely deserves it. Initiating a game is one of the most positive and constructive ways a cat can apologize. Picture this. The atmosphere in the house is tense, and you are still giving your cat the silent treatment over some recent mischief. Then she suddenly brings you her favorite toy mouse, drops it right at your feet, and looks up expectantly. Or she might start chasing an invisible speck of dust, performing those signature goofy leaps. This doesn't mean she has completely forgotten the conflict and is simply goofing off. No, this is a calculated move. For cats, play isn't just entertainment. It's a way to relieve stress, shift focus, and rebuild positive social bonds. By inviting you to play, your cat is intentionally trying to replace the negative emotions of the squabble with the positive joy of a shared activity. She is essentially communicating, "Enough sulking. Let's do something fun together instead, and we can forget this ever happened." This is a surprisingly healthy and wise approach to conflict resolution, one that we humans could definitely stand to learn from. Just give in to her charm, dangle a teaser wand, and you will see all that lingering tension melt away instantly. After you scold your cat, she's likely going to keep her distance. Any attempt you make to touch her might be met with a hiss or a quick escape. She's afraid you're still angry and worries you might hurt her. But then, as time passes, she eventually approaches and allows you to pet her. She might even nudge her head right into your hand. This is a crucial step in the reconciliation process. By doing this, she's essentially saying, I'm ready to trust you again. I believe you won't be angry with me anymore. She's giving you the green light, allowing you back into her personal space. It's her way of testing whether the conflict is over and simultaneously signalling that she's ready to move past it. If you push her away or ignore her at this moment, it can be a devastating rejection. But if you respond to her gesture with gentle petting and a calm, reassuring voice, you confirm that peace has been restored. This moment is truly like signing a peace treaty after a long war. Another undeniable sign that your cat is trying to make things right is when they start shadowing your every move. If you walk to another room, she's right behind you. If you sit down at your desk, she settles underneath the chair. If you head to the bathroom, you'll hear her scratching at the door. This intense tailing behaviour right after a disagreement isn't just curiosity. It's her way of making sure you don't disappear and keeping constant physical or visual contact. She's terrified of losing your favour again, so she's trying to stay as close as possible to control the dynamic and seize any opportunity for reconciliation. She essentially transforms into your silent shadow, constantly reminding you that she exists and desperately wants to be near. Yes, it can be a little suffocating, but this behaviour is driven entirely by her anxiety and deep attachment to you. She simply wants reassurance that you are still her colony, her family unit, and that you aren't going to abandon her. Don't shoo her away, even if she's getting underfoot. For her, this clinginess is a vital process of restoring her sense of security and belonging. What's more frustrating than a cat plopping down right onto your keyboard while you're trying to work, or settling squarely on the book you're reading? But before you shoo her away, take a moment to consider her motives. When a cat settles on your belongings, she's actually accomplishing two things at once. First, she's surrounding herself with your scent, which acts as a powerful comfort. Second, and perhaps more crucially, in the context of making up, she's putting herself squarely at the centre of your attention. She literally blocks your activity just so you have to notice her. This is her desperate attempt to switch your focus from work or a book back to repairing your relationship. She's essentially saying, hey, I'm here. I'm way more important than that glowing screen. Please, let's make up. It might not be the most tactical approach, but it is highly effective. She knows you simply can't ignore her. Instead of getting angry, try giving her a minute of attention, give her a good scratch, say something sweet, and then gently relocate her to your lap or right next to you. That way, you restore the peace and can get right back to your business. A light tap with a paw is a wonderfully delicate and subtle gesture that cats frequently use to communicate. If you're sitting lost in thought after a conflict, and suddenly you feel a soft feline paw gently touch your arm or leg, that's no accident. This is a deliberate, targeted action, similar to a human touching your shoulder to get your attention. It's the cat's way of asking, is it okay if I bother you? Are you still angry? Crucially, the claws are usually fully retracted, emphasizing the completely peaceful nature of this gesture. They aren't trying to scratch you, they want to establish gentle physical contact. It is an incredibly polite and non-invasive form of apology. The cat isn't jumping onto your lap or demanding affection. They are simply testing the waters cautiously. Respond to this gesture with the same delicacy. For instance, place your hand over their paw or give them a slow, gentle stroke. This signals to them that you are ready for dialogue and reconciliation. It is a small gesture, but one with enormous weight in the world of feline diplomacy. Cat body language is a science unto itself, and their ears and whiskers play a crucial role in communicating their feelings. When a cat is stressed, frightened or aggressive, its ears will be flattened against its head. Simultaneously, their whiskers will be stiffly pointed forward or widely flared. This is the classic fight or flight posture. But if your cat approaches you after a spat, look closely at their face. If their ears are in a neutral, relaxed position, pointing slightly forward and out to the sides, and their whiskers are resting easily along the sides of their muzzle, that's a fantastic sign. It means they are showing you total relaxation and a lack of hostile intent. It's as if they're lowering their guard, signalling that they don't anticipate an attack from you. This is a clear visual signal that says, I am calm. I don't want to fight. I come in peace. Pay close attention to these seemingly minor details. They often reveal more about your cat's inner state than even a loud meow. A relaxed posture is their way of establishing the calm and trust needed for a successful reconciliation. And finally, method number 20, which actually incorporates many of the previous points, is simply resuming the routine. Cats are creatures of habit. They live by a strict schedule, the morning stretch, breakfast, a nap in the sun, and their evening playtime. A conflict with their owner is a huge disruption to this stable, predictable routine. It throws their whole world into chaos. So, when your cat approaches you after a spat, demanding dinner at the usual time, or brings a toy when you normally play, it's much more than just a demand. It's her way of saying, let's get things back on track. She's essentially telling you, let's just pretend that never happened. Let's get back to our normal, happy schedule. This means the world to me. By resuming these familiar rituals, she is restoring not only her own comfort, but also your bond, a relationship that is an essential pillar of her stable world. Support her effort, feed her, play with her. For her, this is the ultimate proof that the world has been successfully restored and everything is once again predictable and safe. So, we've explored 20 distinct methods cats use to try and tell us they're sorry. But the biggest and perhaps most surprising takeaway from all of this is this. It's not so much that cats are apologizing for a specific mistake, but rather that they are desperately trying to repair a broken bond with you. To a house cat, their owner isn't just the source of food. You are the center of their universe, the guarantor of their safety and stability, and their primary pride partner. Any conflict, any sign of your displeasure, feels like an earthquake threatening to shatter their entire world. That's why all these gestures, from the slow blink to the gift of a dead mouse, aren't simple apologies. They are a heartfelt plea that essentially translates to, please let's be friends again. My world is falling apart without your approval. Realizing this profound fact changes everything. Now you know that behind every seemingly simple action your pet takes is a whole range of complex emotions and a deep-seated need to restore harmony. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope you learned something new and useful about your furry friends. If you recognized your own cat in even one of these 20 points, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any new secrets from the animal world. Now for the main question for you, how does your cat apologize? Tell us the most unusual or touching reconciliation story you've had with your pet in the comments below. Let's share our experiences. See you next time.